Welcome to Atlanta. Christ is Officer 5000, Jeremiah, the camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's flag. April the 11th, we got the black party that's gonna have the Hebrew graduation. April the 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under Commander Junior Hunter.
Our great and holy King have honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. There's no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man. It is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King Yahushua, we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved.
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Shalom.
Y'all Bashim Yahushua Barakatah to all the brothers. Shalom Shalom Yahushua Malatah Bashim Yahushua to all the sisters. All right. We got an ISUPK start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Junior Hunter. And be teaching the truth to this Bible that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true Israelites. Right? And we'll be going into the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 1, to show you that we are our history, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Our history is in the Bible. The Bible is our history book. All right. As we in America, we're taught that our history starts with slavery, which is very much untrue. Why? Because the Bible says it. The Bible prophesies our history, tells you where you come from, even prophesied the slave ships that the Lord said was going to happen to us if we didn't do a certain thing, which was follow the law, statutes, and commandments. And I'll be getting that in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 1. Give me a second while I get there. All right. This is something that's not taught in the Christian church. Something your grandfather or your grandmother's not going to teach you. Why? Because they don't know this Bible. They don't know the truth. All right. This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 1. And Moses, with the elders of Israel, commanded the people, saying, meaning this is an order coming from Moses and the elders. Right? He sat down and had a conversation with them, and he commanded the people, gave the people an order, right, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. Meaning he gave these people an order to follow after these law, statutes, and commandments which the Lord gave unto Moses. Moses took these commandments and gave it to the people, just like the Lord told him to do. All right. And we go to 28 and verse 1. There, you got a mic?
Yeah.
Your mic work? You might read it.
What are we on?
28, Deuteronomy 28 in verse 1.
You said 20 and what?
1, verse 1. Yeah, where the wind go out.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt shalt
Hearken.
hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day,
Right.
that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right. So this is saying that the Lord, right? If you shall hearken unto the law, statutes, and commandments on this day that Moses gave unto you, that he got from the Lord, those same laws and statutes and commandments that Moses received from the Lord, Moses told you to follow after them. And if you did, the Lord will put you over top of all nations of this earth, meaning not just one nation, not just two people, not just your oppressor, your East Indians, Arabs, not just them, but the entire earth, right? You know what that means? Like you'll have your own, you would have a say so. Us as black people, we don't have a say so. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we don't have a say so on what we can and cannot do. Why? Because of the oppressor, right? We're getting unalived. We still living in his land, not his land, because he stole it, but it is his world. He runs America. He runs Russia, Ukraine, just like they going to war over there because they the same people. That's white on white crime. Just so everyone knows that it's not two different people. They're the same. Also, matter of fact, start from the top. From the top again, yeah.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments,
Right.
which I command thee this day.
This day, meaning on this specific day, Moses came into the people and gave them a commandment to follow after the law, statutes, and commandments, because the Lord told him to do it. The Lord told him to give these commandments to the people. Read on.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right. That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Meaning, if you follow after these law, statutes, and commandments, the Lord would put you on high. He would give you your own providences, your own towns, your own cities, your own countries. Like your countries and your cities and your towns will be ran by your own people. You don't have to worry about going to another nation to get a loan for your house, to get a house, to rent a home if that's what you want to do, to buy a home if that's what the process that you're in. If you want to go and do that, then you'll be going into your own people, your own cities, your own towns. You are the people that run that city, that town. Read on. So like, matter of fact, drop down to verse 15. This means that we'll have authority, right? The Lord will give us authority over this earth. The entire earth, the Lord will give you authority over it, to rule it. He's not going to give it to another people, but unto you if you follow after these law, statutes, commandments. This is what this Bible is saying. Read on.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken.
So like, what verse you in?
This is verse 15, right?
Verse 15.
Verse 15. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right, meaning if you don't listen to the Lord thy God, read.
To observe to do all his commandments and his Salaki, sir. Statutes.
Which I command. Where are you at?
Statutes, what I
command. Yes, verse 15.
Start from the top.
All right. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voices of the Lord thy God,
Right.
to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes would I command thy this day, that all these curses,
All these what?
all these curses,
These curses, meaning the Lord is going to put a curse on you if you don't follow after the Lord's statutes and commandments. Read on.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right. Meaning the Lord is saying right here, he's giving you clear communication, right? That he gave unto Moses to tell the people that if you don't follow after these law, statutes, and commandments that he gave unto you, right? Just as they said in verse 1 and 28 and 1, and also in 27 and 1, right? This is telling the people that Moses got these commandments from the Lord to give unto the people, to put them on high above everybody else. And if you didn't follow after the commandments that Moses gave unto you that he got from the Lord, then curses will fall upon you. Why? Because you didn't want to listen to what the Lord had to say. You didn't want to listen to what Moses had to say.
Right.
Moses was sent to the people by the Lord. Moses didn't pop up, oh, this day I'm gonna just say this because I feel like doing it. In fact, if some of you didn't know, Moses had a speech impediment. Moses had a hard time speaking to people. But Moses took his time to write down these commandments, to tell the people with the elders also. He gave these orders, commanded. A command is an order to do something. Moses was ordered to give these commandments to these people. He also said if you didn't follow after these commandments, that the curses will fall upon you, right?
All right.
What is a curse? What is a curse? Can you give me the definition of a curse?
Definition of a curse.
Yes. You look that up on your Google machine, right? While the brother's getting that, right? This is, I said, these curses shall come upon you and overtake you, meaning these curses shall consume you. It'll consume you. Don't forget, this is talking about a nation of people, not just one person. Not just because one person decided to not follow after the law, because a nation decided to not follow after the law. As you can see, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have a hard time following rules, right? We have a terrible, and we're the worst criminals, because you want to live in America, and now I can't even say it's our fault because putting us in oppression, we are pushed to a point to where it's either eat or be eaten, and we turn our backs on our own people. The first sellout is the drug dealer in our nation, in our communities. The drug dealer, right? The unaliver, the robber, the thief. Those are the sellouts. Why? Because they turn his own back on his own people just so that he can eat. He's going to unalive his neighbor so that he can eat, so his family can eat. He's going to steal from his neighbor, his brother, his sister, his mother, even sometimes his uncle, his grandparents, to eat, to bring food into his house. And we see this daily in the ghettos, in the barrios, right? We got the definition for curse.
Kind of a concept.
Read it aloud.
A curse is any expressed wish that some form of adversity or misfortune will befall or attach to one another or more persons, a place, or an object.
Hold on. That's not the one I was looking for. But I mean, it's still saying the same thing, right? A curse is something that's, read it again one more time.
All right, let me go back.
Matter of fact, I got it right here. I'll read it.
Sure.
Meaning a curse, a solemn utterance intended to invoke a supernatural power to inflict harm or punishment on someone or something, right? This is the Lord saying, if you don't follow after these law, statutes, and commandments, this punishment, right? This, in fact, let me read it one more time. To inflict harm or punishment on someone or something. The Lord said He's gonna put a curse on us to inflict harm or punishment. A punishment is a judgment. That's what judgment means. You're gonna get a punishment for something. If I go to school, right, and I'm being terrible in the class, I'm just being a nuisance, and I get home and I get a phone call, right, from my teacher and say, "Oh, so and so's been bad in class today." I'm gonna get put on punishment. That's my judgment. That's a judgment from my parents, right? And the Lord said, if you don't follow after these law, statutes, and commandments, He's gonna punish you. He's going to inflict harm on you.
Right.
It could be physical. But it also could be a mental curse, right? Let's read down to matter of fact, let me get 16. Read 16 for me.
Curses shalt thou Mm. Curses shall thou be in the city.
Curse shall that be in the city. What does that mean? What does curse shall that be in the city mean? What does that mean to you?
Mm.
Any answers in the comments? Matter of fact, we got some people checking in. Shout out to Sister Sapayar. Shalom Yahweh Shemal Thaba Shem Yahweh Shai. Sister Moesha. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Salakia says, Shalom Yahweh Shemal Thaba Hashem Yahweh Shai. Salakia. Sister Lanisha Robinson. Shalom Shamar. Salakia. Shalom Yahweh Shemal Thaba Hashem Yahweh Shai. Sister Mata Na. Shalom Yahweh Shemal Thaba Hashem Yahweh Shai. Kiasia Smith. Patricia. Salakia. Patricia. Salakia says. Shalom Yahweh Shemal Thaba Hashem Yahweh Shai. Priest and Officer of 50 Hawan. Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. I think that's all we got in class today. In the comments, shout out to everybody that's checking in, tuning in with us today on this wonderful Thursday. All right. All right, read that from the top. Verse 16.
Curses shall thou be in the city.
Curse shall that be in the city. Right? Curse shall that be in the city. In the city that we walk in the city of Raleigh, in Durham, Virginia, the cities in Virginia, Richmond, Chesterfield, Goldsboro. Those cities that we walk in, curse shall we be in the city. Meaning we're the ones that's getting chased down and unalived because we always get away with it, which is what George Zimmerman said unto Trayvon when he shot him in the back. After he went to go get a sweet tea, Arizona sweet tea and a bag of Skittles. He shot him in the back. He unalived him because he said, we always get away. Right? Philando Castile. He was murdered I believe he was murdered at Salakia, unalived at a corner store for selling Lucy cigarettes. And the police stopped him and unalived him. George Floyd, he was unalived by a knee put on his neck. They suffocated him. Salakia. These are curses that the Lord put on us. Right? Read on.
And curses shall thou be in the field.
And curse shall that be in the field. Meaning what? What does that mean? We got a comment in this comment section. Like it. Sister Sapayar says, live in the worst parts of the city, surrounded by drugs, gangs, and unalivers. Damn right, sis. You are right. Curse shall that be in the city. Also, curse shall that be in the field. With last hire, first fire. In the slave fields. When we was out there picking sugar cane, picking cotton, tobacco, and we didn't bring enough back, we was whipped. We got 100 lashes. Maybe we were whipped into our Salakia until we gave up the ghost. To give means until you're dead. That's what that means. We were unalive for certain things because the oppressor felt like he could just do whatever he wants to do. Why? Because we didn't follow after the laws and commandments. We were getting unalived in the streets and put in slavery because we, as a nation of people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, didn't want to follow after the law, statutes, and commandments that Moses gave unto us, that he got from the Lord. So, in the whole duty of it, the whole purpose of it, we didn't want to follow after the Lord because we're stiff-necked people. We have a hard time following after rules, just as I said, right? Drop down to 32 for me. Verse 32.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 32. Thy son and thy daughter shall be given unto another. That's cut off. Oh, people.
Right. Thy son and thy daughter shall be given unto another people. What does that mean? What does that sound like?
Sounds like they're getting taken away from the family.
Right. They're getting taken away. Say it in the mic.
Sounds like they're getting taken away from their family.
Right. That's exactly what's happening here. Right. During slavery times, I'll give you a slight history lesson during Christmas, as people say, you know, Christ was born on Christmas, which is a total lie. Very much the biggest lie. I will say this though. During Christmas time, during slavery, that was the only time that a slave could be less likely to be whipped to death. Why? Because the slave owner is going to his family to take your child with him as a gift. For those that's out there celebrating Christmas, Halloween, those are the things that you have to understand, that this is not your culture. You were not put here on this earth to follow after America's culture. You were put here on this earth to follow the law, statutes, commandments. The Lord said to live by this. And if you don't, you're going to be unalived. You're going to receive a punishment, which is the curses that the Lord put on us for not following after them. The Lord said, curse shall that be in the city. Curse shall that be in the field. And he also said our children are going to be taken from us. Do you not know how that feels to be separated from your siblings? To be taken? Also, CPS. When your neighbor call the police on you, call CPS because you're not at home because you got to pay bills. You got to go to work to pay bills and you're barely making enough. You can barely put food in your mouth. Barely put food in your child's mouth. This is why your neighbor is calling CPS, because you're never at home. White man, he gonna come, Salaki, the oppressor's gonna come knock on your door and even at school, if your child is he seem malnourished because you are barely at home being able to pay bills and feed your child. This is the America that we live in. Curse shall they be in the city. And in the field, in the work field, we barely getting paid enough. As the sister said, low-paying jobs in slavery. We got to be at this job for 12 hours straight, and we barely can pay our damn bills. Barely can put food in our mouths, pay rent. Those are the things that we suffer in America. Why? Because America hates you. America hates us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This is why we're getting rounded up by ICE. That's why I seen last week, I believe, I was downtown, and you see ICE in Raleigh. You see ICE picking up Hispanics because they said they're illegal immigrants. They're aliens. Well, let me tell you something. Oppressor, you're the alien. You don't belong here. Like you took this place by force, by the force of the sword, is what the Bible says. But even in your history, you took it by force. It wasn't given to you. I forget what they call it in history class. I'm sure they probably don't even teach this no more. But the point is, during even the Native Indians, you unalived them, which is why I said you took the land from them. You came here, and as soon as you got here, you was like, yeah, I'm gonna take this. I'm taking this. You broke over 400 treaties with these people. 400 treaties. Every single one of them you broke. This is why we got to get back to this law. Without this law, we are nothing. The Lord knows better than we do. So let's start thinking about the Lord and not so selfishly about ourselves. When we stop thinking about ourselves, then we can save other people. Be a blessing to another brother. Teach him this law. Be a blessing to that sister. Teach her that she's in this book. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Teach them that the Bible is for us. The Lord, the Most High God, the God of everyone on this of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is in the Bible. And that's what I mean by everyone. I'm not talking about your oppressor, your East Indians, your Asians, Chinese, Japanese. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the greatest people on this earth. Because without us, America would be nothing. It'd be a pile of crap, is what it would be. Right? Read that from the top.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look at family or fail, Salakia, with longing for them in the day long.
Right, meaning you'll be looking and staring into space because you don't have any might. You don't have any strength. You don't have an army. You don't have anything to protect you or your children from being taken from you. And that's the way America is set up. Read that from the top one more time.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. And if we talking slavery, right? During those times, we were bred like animals. We were treated like cattle. Our children that we made were taken from us and given to another people, which is your oppressor, your slave owner. Read on.
And thy eyes shall look at fail with longing for them.
And fill with longing for them. Meaning, you looking at your child like, why is he being taken from me? This is my child. This is someone I birthed. Why is he being taken from me? And you're going to sit and cry and wail and yell and scream and holler all day long because you can't do anything about it. Even in today in CPS, you can't do nothing about it or you're going to jail. You're going to jail because they want to take your children from you because they feel like you are unfit because they're terrible people. Read on.
All the day long.
All the day long. All day long, you're going to sit and ponder and wonder on why your children is being taken from you. Even though you're doing the best that you can, you're not getting no help from the system that says, even George Bush said, no child left behind. Like, how can you physically say those words out of your mouth? And then when people reach out, you're supposed to be a president. You're supposed to run a nation, a country. And then when people need your help, you leave them. You leave them homeless, unable to feed themselves. Right? Is that the end on that precept?
No, sir.
Read on.
And there shall be no might in thy hand.
And thou shall be no might in thy hand. Just as the sister said, such as social services, taking away parents' children. Exactly what I said. Just says you are right, completely right. Just as social services will come knock on your door and take your children because they feel like you are unfit to take care of a child. These people are that's a terrible thing to have your children taken away from you. But that also comes with the curses that we decided that we weren't going to follow. But if you're in the ISUPK, look, you got the truth right here. You got the law, statutes, and commandments right here. Why? Because we follow them perfectly. Just as the Lord told us to do it, we are going to continuously follow after this Bible because this Bible is our history book. This Bible is the truth. Being in here, being the ISUPK, we have the truth. There's only one truth on this earth. All them fake Israelite camps out there, they telling a lie because they're liars. They're thieves. They're unalivers. Right? Because if you're gonna lie to me, you might as well get me. You might as well take my life, right?
Right.
Why? Because the Lord said if we don't follow after these law, statutes, and commandments, we're gonna be put under curses. We're gonna receive a punishment, right?
Right.
Salakia. Drop down to let me get 48.
This-
48.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies with the Lord, shall sin against thee in
Right.
hunger and thirst.
Salakia. The Lord shall send. You shall serve that from the top. One more time. One more time.
Therefore shall thou serve thine enemies with the which the Lord shall send enemies thy in hunger and in thirst.
Right. Meaning the Lord said, thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against you. What does this like? What does this sound like? What does this sound like? This sounds like the Lord is going to send enemies upon you, against you, right? If you don't follow after these law, statutes, and commandments, which Moses gave unto the people,
Right.
which he gave unto blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Why? Because the Lord said, follow after these laws and be perfect. Follow after these laws and be on top of every nation of this earth. But instead, as a people, as a nation, we see for ourselves every day that we wake up and we see our people, we see them in a low condition. Why? Because it's clear as day that this happened to us. It's very plain upon tables that We are last hire, first fire. We're the ones getting unalived in the street. We were the ones in slavery picking cotton, in sugarcane, in tobacco. We were the ones that's unaliving our brothers.
Right.
As you can see, as it just said, we're the ones that have our children mostly taken from us. We're going to have our children taken from us if we don't follow after this law, right? And it says the Lord shall send enemies against you, meaning the Lord knows you have enemies. If the Lord knows you have enemies and he's going to send them against you, I would follow after this law. I would start to get my life back on track to follow after this law.
Right.
I don't want my children to be taken from me. I don't want my brothers, my sisters' children taken from them. So I'm going to tell them this truth according to this Bible, because the Lord commanded us to do the same. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 58 in verse 1 says, cry aloud like a trumpet and let our people know their transgressions. Because if I didn't, that shows that I hate them. I don't want them to live. I wouldn't be in here if I didn't want to. That would be a very selfish thing to do. Read that from the top one more time.
Therefore shall thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in
Right.
hunger and in thirst.
In hunger and in thirst, meaning when you're hungry, where do you have to go? You got to go to Walmart. You got to go to Target. You got to go to Kroger, Food Line. Those places, do we own those establishments? No, we don't. We don't own anything. Soon as we own something, even our towns, even if you don't know, Durham is history. We have a lot of history here in Durham. We had a Black Wall Street, but it was taken over by your oppressor. We had our cities bombed. I believe it was Philadelphia. They had a bomb dropped on them. A physical bomb, like a very, it's like I believe it was like a 250-pound bomb.
It's Salakia, sir. They taught about that in history class.
Right. They talked about that in history class. These are devils. Look, the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Why? Because only a deceiver and a manipulator would do something like that. He would come to you very smoothly, very, very subtle and gentle, like right in that. Right, damn right, sis. In the 80s, this is recent. Slavery wasn't that long ago. Them Jim Crow laws was not that long ago. Like our grandparents lived through that. They dropped a bomb on us in the 1980s, and you expect them to be friends to you? Like I don't understand. They dropped a bomb on your forefathers, on your cousins, your long distant cousins, because we are related, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's why we're brothers and sisters. This is why the Bible says have charity. Charity is going into your brothers and sisters and make sure that they are okay.
Right.
That's brotherhood. That's sisterhood. Making sure that they can see the next day. Making sure they eat. Right? Read on. Salakia. And it says in thirst also. And where do you go to get your drinks? You got to go to your oppressor. You go to him because he took everything. He owns everything on this earth. Your fabrics. Right? The water systems that's free. Food that grows on a damn tree. It grows on a tree during the spring and all over the year, but I gotta go to him to buy it. Even if I plant a tree in my yard, I gotta tell him about it. I can't receive anything for myself unless it goes through him. That's oppression. Read on.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness, when you go to get your clothes, your shoes, a headscarf, anything that you want to buy for yourself that clothes your body, you have to go through him.
You have to go through your oppressor.
You have to go through him, even though you were the one out there picking cotton on that cotton gin that you made, that we made.
Right.
America said you have to go through me because the Lord sent them against us. We got to go to him to buy our clothing, to clothe ourselves. That's oppression. Why? Because he's going to sell it for $1,000. He's going to sell it for more than what we can afford. because that's what they do. They're on this earth to be an enemy unto you. They're not your friends. They could never be your friend. It's impossible, right? See, we got some comments in the section. Sister Sabayar said, in some states, it's illegal to catch rainwater.
Wow.
It's illegal to catch rainwater. The water that falls from the sky. It's illegal. It's illegal to catch the rainwater that the Lord is falling from the sky, but it's illegal to catch.
Salaki said, I've never heard anything like that before.
That's insane. That's oppression.
very insane.
That's oppression to catch. I can't catch the water that falls from the sky freely when I know it's about to rain. I know because the clouds getting dark.
Yeah, clouds getting dark.
I can't go out. If my water stop running, I can go outside and collect the rainwater to clean myself or to boil to clean, right? To clean the stuff that's in my house. I can't use that water to clean myself. I can't do that because it's illegal. That's oppression, right? Read on.
And in nakedness.
Read on.
And I want of all things.
And in want of all things, meaning everything that you perceive that you want on this earth, you cannot have because the Lord sent the enemy against you to make sure that you don't get it. He made sure that you don't get it. Read on.
He shall put a yoke of iron upon my neck.
A yoke, Salakia. I get kind of amped up when this comes around. Why? Because I understand how this feels. Put a yoke of what?
A yoke of iron.
A yoke of iron upon thy neck. I mean, this heavy piece of metal you gonna put around my neck and have me walk around with it because like I'm an animal, like an ox. That's what they put on the ox. A yoke to keep the ox from moving that plow around. That's what they put on that ox. You're an animal unto them. Read.
And put a yoke of yarn upon thy neck until he has destroyed thy.
Put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until thou has destroyed thee. Right? He put a piece of iron and chain around your neck during slavery until he beat Christianity into your brain. Literally beat Christianity into your brain. Gave you slave Bibles. Right? These are the things that were put in place to bring to have us not remember who we are, to conform us to this world, and if not, we were beat and unalive for it, because the oppressor doesn't give a damn about us. He never did and never will, right? Until he has destroyed thee, meaning he just burn you up. That's it. Like to destroy something, to just be non-existent. You're not here anymore. Like it's unbelievable to destroy something. That's it. That's the end of it. Read on.
It's verse 49 now.
Yeah, 49. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, read 49.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, meaning from another part of the earth. Right? The oppressor came from Spain, Europe, Russia. He came from all over this earth, right? Read on.
From the end of the earth, as swift as thy eagle flieth.
As swift as the eagle flieth, meaning what nation has an eagle for their nation?
America.
America does. Also, Russia does. That's a symbol to show you exactly who your enemy is. As swift as the eagle fly. You know what an eagle does? You know where an eagle sets his nest? In the tallest tree. Why? Because he has to look over everything. This is why you got these skyscrapers, because they have to they just have a sense like, yeah, I'm gonna go climb this tree. I'm gonna go climb the tallest mountain ever is. So I look at it and unalive. That's what's gonna happen to them. They get themselves They give up the ghost every time they go up there. Just know that. Every time they get up on that mountain, it get real cold.
Right.
You want to climb up so high. I don't understand. But an eagle, right? It looks upon its prey before it attacks. That's what an eagle does. Come across. Meaning, this eagle, this person, he gets upon high, right? And he's gonna look down on his prey before he attacks him. He's gonna assess and study his prey before he lunges after it. Read on. And this is exactly what America does. They studied us before they attacked us. Read on.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Right. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. I mean, with this language that we're speaking, English, that's not our tongue. That's not the language. Tongues is also tongue means language, not whatever they do in Christianity. I don't know what they be talking about. They sound like a baby to me. Gibberish.
Yeah.
It sounds like gibberish. You got something? No, I got you. Meaning, this language that we're speaking is not ours. The Lord didn't give us English. The Lord gave us Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, which we teach every Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. You should tune in. Officer Thabawan, great, wonderful teacher, right? Read on to 50.
A nation of
Fierce
countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shall
show favor
to the young.
Right. What does this mean? That this oppressor, right, this enemy that the Lord sent against us, he's not going to show favoritism to the old or the young. As I said, George Floyd was unalived in the street. Philando Castile was unalived in the street because the oppressor, he that's just what he does. He's an unaliver. Like he's a murderer. Salakia. That's what he does. That's his nature. That's what he does for a living. Why? Because he destroyed us by the force of the sword. His gift is the sword. By everything he's gonna take by force, not by coming in. Hey, let's make a deal. No, he made deals with the native Indians and unalived them by force, right? Or the young, right? Trayvon Martin, he was unalived because he went to the store to grab a Arizona tea and Skittles, right? And George Zimmerman said he always gets away. They always get away with what they do. Why? Because George Zimmerman is an oppressor. He's an enemy unto you. If you're not blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, they're not friends. They're not your brothers. So you should strictly stick with your people, right? Drop down to 64.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 64.
No, 28. 28 and 64.
28. This is 29.
It might be Salaki. I'll read it. You got your phone? You got the Bible app on your phone?
No.
Matter of fact, 28, sir. 28 and 64. Come on. Right. This Bible is for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And also these curses that we're going through is for a sign and a wonder. Not because the Lord finds favor into destroying us, but because we didn't listen, just like a good father, a good mother would punish his child for disobeying him. The Lord punished us because the Lord decided to bring blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, out of Egypt. Right? just as a father or a son would come to the rescue of his child. So like it, a father would come to the rescue of his child. The Lord looked at us as his sons because the Lord loved us. The Lord loved us enough to bring us out of Egypt, out of slavery, out of bondage. And I believe Egypt means it's synonymous for I believe bondage or slavery. Egyptos. That's what Egyptos means, slavery. To be bounded up in chains. You got it? Read 60, verse 64.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64.
Right.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. Just as the sister said in the chat, Kiesia Smith, she said we were slaves to all nations. Damn right, sis, we were. We were slaves to everybody on this earth during the Atlantic slave trade and also the sub-Saharan slave trade. We were sold to your Arabs today. As everybody want to be a Muslim, I don't understand why would you want to be a Muslim when they were the ones that had you in captivity, like they sold you as pets. I don't understand it, right? And also, for those who don't know, it's also a jail religion because everybody when I don't for some reason our people decide to go to prison, right? When they get locked up, they decide that they want to become Muslim. For some reason, that's
Kevin Gates.
Say that one more time.
Kevin Gates.
Right. You just want to become Muslim for some reason. You just they do it for protection, right? And Muslims supposed to be so great and holy, to be all they pray 5 times a day for nothing because they still gonna unalive you. They still gonna sell you drugs because you don't got no beard. Right? This is what they teaching. They say you can eat pork if that's the last thing on this earth. You gonna eat it. That's what they do. Why? Because they don't understand that Islam is not for us. Being Muslim is not for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Being an Israelite is what you were literally born as. This Bible is what you're supposed to be doing. Following out these law, statutes, commandments. Come. And with that, right, I'll be passing the class over to Priest and Officer of 500, Officer Kapariev. Clap it up.
Yeah, I'll keep it. I'll keep it. Wow, I appreciate that. Give me a second, real quick. All right, give me a hand one more time, man. That's a young man right there. Slocky. That's a young officer. That's a young officer, man. That's a young brother, man. Officer Nadia, man. Officer 50. That's a young brother right there, man. I want to dwell on that for a second because that young man could be doing anything right now. Like a lot of our young men out here, a lot of our young brothers and sisters could be out here doing. He could have been doing anything. Today's what, Thursday? And y'all gotta forgive me. I've been down that surgery and stuff, so I don't even know what day it is right now. But look, I'm back. I've been out for about a week, but I'm back though. But this young man, like he could be doing anything right now, you know. But that's why I thank the Lord every day when I see the young men out here like this brother. He could be doing anything right now, but instead he's in here sacrificing his time. I'm pretty sure he got a lady and a child back at the crib. He much rather be at the house on Xbox or PlayStation or doing whatever else, you know. But instead he'd rather be up in here with us, man, putting this work in, putting in this brick, you know. And let that be an example to all y'all other brothers out there, man. Y'all brothers, y'all young men and women. Let that be an example. Like the Bible says, out of the mouths of babes, these young ones, man. Like, get out of here, man. Get a foot in here for that. Like, he could be doing anything, man. So that's real great, man. I love seeing stuff like that, man. Salakia. Now, what you said something that was heavy too, man. Earlier, I can't remember. Let me see. I think I wrote it down. Let me see. Something you said earlier, Nadia. I can't remember what you said. I think you said they know us or something like that, or they study us. Yeah. I'm gonna piggyback on that or veggie back for a second. You said you got something you want to say?
Oh yeah, come on. So it's like they literally like physical, like scientific studies on us on like it with slavery, they know that we suffer from Stockholm syndrome. So whatever they do, they know that we're going to be afraid of them because we don't have like a say so. We don't have military. We can't do anything about it. So as like during slavery, they studied us. They showed us like exactly examples. Like I forget his name, Salakia, but he was the one that introduced us and how to turn a Negro into a slave.
Some of the Willie Lynch.
Yeah, Common Con, sir.
Yeah,
Common Con.
Damn, I didn't bring that book on me today.
Yeah, Common Con.
I look right at the book too, man.
Common Con. So that's exactly what they did. They studied us like animals. Salakia.
Yeah, and you just rung a bell too. Something else you mentioned too. Damn, I just lost it. Something else you mentioned too. I wanted to touch on. Shoot, it slipped my mind at the moment. I should have wrote it down. But you're right. Like our enemies study us, and the sad part about it is our enemies know us better than we know our own selves. Much like our demons. Our demons know our own strengths and weaknesses better than we do. You know. Go ahead. What was you holding? What were you at before? What was it?
Deuteronomy 28 and 64.
Okay. Go ahead on and finish that out where you was at. What's his name? Young man Darian. Okay, you can finish that where you was at.
All right.
And then we'll get my precept in a second.
Can I just start from the beginning?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead. And, go ahead.
All right. And the Lord shall.
Okay. 1 second. And just you probably don't know this, but like whenever you read the scripture, you always want to let the people know where you at, just in case, because we got people in class, got people online, people, at work, and they just now tuning in. So they might not know or whatever, and then so just gotta let the people know where you at anytime you want to anytime you start off in the new chapter and verse.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Read that from the top. Read slow this time.
All the way from the top.
Yeah, just read slow. Just read like 2 or 3 words at a time so the people can catch it.
And the Lord shall scatter.
Is that what?
Shall scatter.
One more time.
Shall scatter.
Scatter is what? Ain't that a verb? That's an action, right? Says the Lord should do what? He should scatter.
Shall scatter.
Why is it saying this? Why is the Lord saying he shall scatter? Telling you right now, the whole thing we're reading, like as the officer before me was bringing up, man, the Bible, this is our history book, right? And know what we're reading? This is our history book. This is our Constitution. This is our Black history book. We ain't got to go to our oppressors, man, to learn who we are. Right. We don't have to do that. No other group on this planet has to do that, but us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and that was a curse. And that's what we're reading right now. That we're reading about these curses. These are prophecies, like future prophecies that will come forth to pass if we didn't obey. So that's what you're reading right now. That's why it's saying that the Lord is scattering us. The Lord is scattering us because we was hard-headed children, hard-headed, stiff-necked, and rebellious, as the Bible says. Go ahead.
Shall scatter thee among all people.
Among who?
All people.
All people. Which is why even in today's time, man, it says like we're scattered across all 4 corners of the earth. You can go anywhere. You can leave outside of America. America's like a melting pot. But you can leave outside of America and you can go to a whole new country. You can go to Russia, China, wherever, and you're gonna find Black people somewhere. And I don't know you're gonna find Black people, but you know what else you'll find? You'll find Black people in the same condition. It ain't just in America. What you think? You think that's just a coincidence? Man, that's a reason for that. Keep going.
From the one end of the earth, even unto the other.
See? Even one end to the earth. You read it in other parts of the Bible. It says 4 corners of the earth, man. It's the same thing. You'll read that all throughout the Bible, but we were scattered. We were scattered for a reason. Drop that. Now give me the book of Psalms. Psalms 10. Just to touch back on what the officer previous before me has stated, because our enemies, they study us, man. our enemies know us. Our enemies know us better than we know our own selves, man.
Come on, sir. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like verse 1, sir.
8.
Come on. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 8. He sitteth in the lurking places.
Say what?
He sitteth in the lurking places.
What does that mean?
So, like I say, he's hiding himself, like he
Yeah.
like pressed up in the bushes.
Yeah. They hide, man. Like, think about it. How often you be driving on the road and you'll see a police officer ducked off in the corner somewhere? Like, they hiding. Like, it's a game of hide and go seek. You send a police officer, like like, what's the role and the duties and responsibilities of a police officer? They're supposed to enforce the law, right? So, like, if the goal of you as a police officer is to get people to slow down and speeding in traffic or whatever, wouldn't common sense tell you, well, maybe I should be parked out so people can see me and maybe they would slow down? That's what I would think.
Right.
Like, if I'm a police officer, I want people to slow down. I know if you see them blue lights, what are you going to do if you drive?
Slow down.
You're going to slow down.
Yeah,
common sense, right? So then let me ask you this question. If that's the case, then why is it you see so many police officers doing the complete opposite? They hide and they duck off in the corner. So are they really trying to get people to stop slowing down from speeding?
I was there. They trying to lock you if I could. They trying to catch some.
Say it again.
They trying to catch somebody.
They trying to catch somebody, man. They setting up traps.
Come on.
That's what it sounds like to me. Keep going.
Places of the villages. It's like you.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
It's like, what happened with the reading? I mean, everything to wild?
Yeah, come on.
Okay, I mean, it's fine. It doesn't matter. I mean, I just thought it was something. Okay, no sweat. All right, go ahead.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places.
Yeah, the what?
In the secret places.
What does it mean by the secret places? So he sitteth in the secret places, man. Come on, like, this is why we gotta read. This is why we gotta study this, because when you read stuff like this, this is how you learn who your enemies are, man. This is how you learn who you dealing with. This is what our oppressors do. They studied us for all them years. They've learned us. Right. They've learned us, right? They spend years learning us. But here's my question to us. Well, when we gonna learn them? When we gonna learn our enemies? Exactly. You know? Yeah, right. When we gonna learn them? But before we can learn them, you know what we first must learn? We first got to learn God's laws. That's what we first got to learn. I mean, I'm all for, learning your enemies, learning your oppressors, all that. We should do that as well. I mean, I'm not stopping that. But we also got to learn ourselves. We also got to learn God's laws, And this is what we're reading in here now. Go ahead.
Doeth he murder the innocent? His eyes are privately set against the poor.
Oh, read that from the top one more time.
He sitteth in the lurking. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doeth he murders the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor.
Doeth he what? It says he's murders. Well, think how often you see that? How often you hear about that on TV? I'm losing track of names now. Every time you turn on social media, the TV, the news, you're hearing and seeing about whether you've seen it personally or which I'm sure we all can relate to that, whether you know somebody or you've seen it or you heard it. I mean, it's 2025. It's all over social media. Every time you turn around, same old. Same story, different characters, man. Whether it's a black man, black woman, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, or woman, same thing. Some innocent person has been murdered. Come on. Keep going.
All right. This is verse 9 now. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den.
Say what?
He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den.
What does that mean? It says what? It says he lieth wait in secretly. What does that mean?
So like, sir, he's stalking his prey like a lion.
Yeah. Look at the description that the Bible is going into. It's describing our oppressors, man. Like, What does the scripture say? He's a cunning hunter. I'm gonna have to get that precept in a second. Somebody can just get cunning hunter. Just put it in your Google machine. Just type in cunning hunter and just we'll get to that one in a second. But yeah, but it's going to the description, man. This is talking about our oppression, and this is what we're dealing with. Like this is the key to our salvation right here. By reading this book, you can learn your enemies and you can learn how to avoid them. You can learn how to deal with them, how to escape this, man. Keep going.
He doeth catch the poor.
So start from verse 9, the beginning.
This is the book of Psalms. Chapter,
Yeah, just let them know where you at. Book of Psalms.
Book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 9.
Right. Yeah, you always want to remember that. Darian, right?
Yes.
Darian. Okay, I got Darian or Darren. Darian, okay. Because I want to say Darren. So I can forgive me. If I got asked your name like 100 times, just forgive me.
Yeah.
But you always want to do that. So anytime, and that's just with reading, period, with anything. You always want to let people know where you at. Like I said, you got people logging in, that slave or whatever. So you always want to do that. Just keep that in mind,
Okay.
But go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 9.
Yep.
He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den.
Now think about that. Now let's hold for a second. It says he lied secretly, right? It says he lied secretly as a lion. Now think about that as a description. Now, if that's the mentality, think about a police officer, and that's his or her mentality. Now, I'm just saying, if you're supposed to be a police officer, if you're supposed to be somebody in law enforcement or a security officer, you're supposed to be they say protect and serve, right? That's what it says. But that doesn't sound like protect and serve to me. What about this verse says protect?
Nothing.
I mean, y'all help me out. Maybe it's something I'm missing. I mean, I was a C student in school, so I'm just saying, like,
Nothing
English
else.
wasn't my strong. I'm a numbers guy. I was engineering, so I'm not. But I'm just saying, what about verse 9, 8 or 9 is saying protection, protect and serve?
Nothing at all.
I don't know about lie and wait secretly and sitting and lurking places, secret places and murdering. That don't sound like protect and serve to me, man. I don't know. I don't know if not y'all. Keep going.
He lieth in wait to catch the poor.
So what?
To catch the poor.
Now this is where I go, man. This is what we're dealing with. They lie and wait, man, to catch the poor. This is the mentality. This is the mentality of our oppressors, just like the eagle, like Officer Nadia was talking about. Just like that eagle. What does the eagle do? An eagle is what they call a predator. Yeah.
Predator.
I'll make sure I ain't get it confused. But an eagle is a predator. Think about eagles. Think about hawks. Think about all the vultures. What do? They all sit high, do they not? And they sit and they lurk. Like I remember growing down in the country, at my granddad at his house and stuff, and we would see, stuff like that. You just see a hawk just sitting there, hawk sitting out, chest all stuck out, and you'd be like, "What's that hawk?" Like you don't even know what the hawk looking at. Hawk just sitting still, just waiting, lurking, just waiting out of nowhere. Our oppressors do the same thing, man. Like that, but this goes into the mentality of what we're having to deal with, and this is what we're surrounded by. Keep going.
He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him to his net, into his net.
Now, what is that? What is that net? What's a net? What does that represent? What is that? I think we said it earlier. Want to take a stab at it? Take a stab at it. Like, what do you think about? What do you use a net for?
Fishing, catching stuff.
Say what?
Catching stuff.
Say what?
Catching stuff.
Read that verse again.
He doeth catch.
Hey, what?
Catch.
There you go.
The poor
There you go.
when he draweth into his net.
That's the purpose of a net, man. That's the purpose of a net. A net is a trap. That's what a net is for. You can use a net for many different things. But that's the main purpose of what a net is for. Just like the Bible says about a woman, snares and nets. Same thing. That's what nets are for. It's for use for catching. Now, again, I ain't seen protect and serve nowhere in this verse. But they say that's what they do, though, man. I don't know. These are our oppressors. This is what we got to deal with, though, man. And this goes hand in hand with what the officer before me was bringing out in Deuteronomy. All these were prophecies. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 18. They hunt our steps.
Salakia, go to use the S18.
Come,
Go
verse
17.
18. Verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
What does that word vain means? Can anybody tell me what it means? If you don't know, you can look it up. It's fine.
So like I said,
Mm-hmm.
like it meaningless.
There you go.
Yeah.
It means nothing. Empty hope. That's what it means. And it says vain what?
Help.
Yeah, it means nothing. Vain help. It means nothing. It's empty. Go ahead.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation.
What?
A nation.
A nation. A whole nother nation of people. Go ahead.
That could not save us.
That what?
That could not save us.
That's our problem, man. Us as Blacks, Spanish, and Native Indians, because we're looking at all these other groups of people to save us instead of coming back to here.
Right.
Instead of coming back to here of what can save us. That's our problem. We looking at a group of people. What did it say?
That cannot
my bad.
That cannot save us.
Right. We're looking at a group of people that lie awake secretly and murder us in secret. We're looking at those group of people that come and save us instead of looking at these laws, statutes, and commandments. Instead of looking at the Bible, man. We already got a savior. Our problem is we just ain't accepted it.
That's right.
Our problem is we stuck in everything else under the sun, man, following after everything. We want to be in the Egyptology, as you said earlier, Muslims.
Right.
We want to follow after them. And for some reason, like you said, Nadia, only time we become Muslims is like when we go to jail.
Right.
Like, damn, Allah's only in jail. He ain't outside. So only way I can become a Muslim if I gotta go to jail.
Right.
Like imagine if the only way I can get my hands on the Bible is if I went to jail. And I'm over here, we over here teaching like, yeah, you know, the Bible's for all Black, Spanish, Native Indian. But damn, okay, I want to truth how to get a Bible. Well, you gotta get locked up first, bro. Like, damn, Allah, like damn, you ain't even. That's the God you serve,
right?
The God you serve, you can only get them if you get locked up.
You gotta go to jail for it.
I see why Muslims don't know the Quran. I see why. I can't even blame them. The hell, it makes sense to me.
Go good.
Go ahead.
Verse 18. They hunt our steps.
They what?
They hunt our steps.
What they do to Trayvon Martin, man?
Like I said, they tracked him down. He tracked him down.
And hey, look, that wasn't a police officer neither. I think he was. I don't know what the hell he was.
So like I think he was a citizen, sir. He said that we always get away with it, and I got this information. This I didn't know, but this information I got from shout out to Officer 5000, Officer Zion Yala. He definitely gave me the information as far as George Zimmerman said out of his own mouth that we always get away with it, meaning we always get away with crimes. But the brother wasn't doing a crime. Like you tracked him down, called the police. I'm right behind him, following him like an animal, and you shot him in the back. Because he always get away with it. Salakia.
Yeah, man. That's sad. Man, yeah, that's sad, man. And you know, and that's the mentality. You know, that's what we're dealing with. You know, very sad that the young man, I think was 16, 17 years old, lost his life like that. I mean, I think me and him had to be around the same age. I think I might have been a year older. Yeah. And it's sad. And like I say, and us as Blacks, man, we just don't understand what we're dealing with. You know, we just walk around here, just sleep out here, man. Like we don't even understand what we're dealing with, who we're surrounded by. You know, and I just really wish that young brother would have known that. But yeah, it's real sad, man. You got any more on that?
Come on, sir. They hunt.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets.
Say what?
We cannot go in our streets.
Damn, man. You can't even go in your streets, man. That's where we're getting shot. That's where we're getting killed at. That's where we've been destroyed at, man, right here in the streets. Whether it's from our own people or from our oppressors.
Right.
And I'll get that other precept in a second. It's another they have on mine. But go ahead. Finish that out.
Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
Hey, wasn't there another precept I asked
Yeah,
about?
come on, sir. I got it.
Okay. I just can't remember what it was. I know it was something.
27.
I think it was it.
This is in the book of Genesis. Like I said, I got it right
I
here.
forgot what it was I asked for.
Cunning Hunter, sir.
That's what it was.
Come on. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
Oh, what?
A cunning hunter.
Man from birth. Now this is going back to Jacob and Esau, man. This is from they would what? This is from the womb.
Yeah, come
Fight like that in the womb. Damn. There's a cunning hunter. Who knows what that word cunning means?
It's like I said,
Mhm.
smart or
Yes, but there's another word that's more. I mean, you're right, but there's a more that's more accurate though.
come on, sir.
So if you okay, what does it take to be a hunter? You have to be.
It's like I said, like skillful.
There you go. That's the word. Cunning, a cunning hunter, a skillful hunter. Now, in order for you to be a skillful hunter, what must you do? What must you? Well, I almost gave it to you. Go ahead.
You got to study. Yeah,
Like you said earlier.
Yeah, come
Like you
on.
said, no, you got to study because it's just like I could tell you about before, like with my grandfather, like love going hunting.
Right.
In order for you to hunt, you have to study.
Come on.
Because you have to sit back, just like the hawk do. You got to sit back,
Gotta
quiet, steady, watch, waiting,
Come on.
learn the timing. When do they come out? When they come to eat? When they go use the bathroom? Who they hang out with? Same thing. Same thing our oppressors do. They study and they watch us, man. That's what they do.
Come on.
Mm-hmm. You could drop that and just go
on,
back to where you was at before. What was it, Ezekiel?
Psalms.
Okay. I think it was Psalms 8. Something.
Yeah, because we were doing. That's a 10.
Yeah, you good. You can read. You said it was 10 and 10?
10.
Okay.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 10.
Oh, shout out to Sister Thawa. I see her in the chat, man. What else we got in here? We got Yanazar in the chat. Sister Soppet Yar. So like, I don't want y'all to think I'm ignoring y'all, but I rarely look at the chat, man. It's so distracting. Go ahead, though.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 10. He crouches.
What is it? Crouch? Okay.
And humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones.
What verse is that?
That's 10 and 10.
10. Okay. Start from top again.
He croucheth.
Tell me where you at.
This is the book of Psalms. Sorry,
Sorry, man. Take your time, bro. That's all it is.
This is the book of Psalms.
We're all in here learning, man. Like I say, man, you got young men, bro. Like, how old are you, if you mind me asking?
15.
What is it? I can't right now. I can't right now, but I will pass over. What you said now?
15.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh wow, man, young brother, man. Yeah, give him a hand. Young, 15. Damn. Man, that's the perfect age, man, because it's so much you could be out there doing, man. And it's so much. I look at so many if I could sidebar for a second, I look at so many of our young kids, bro. Like, and I don't do the social media stuff like that, but every now and again I get up there, and I regret getting up there when I see it because I see so many young kids and they're just so destroyed. They're just out there in the world. A lot of them out there fatherless, and other fathers or father figures that they do have, they're not what I would consider a father figure anyway. And it's just, I see so much of these young kids, they're just so lost. So when I see young brothers like yourself come in here and you take time out your day, your schedule, and you decide to come in here, and there's so much you could have been doing. You could have been at house doing whatever, my own business. But the fact that you would take your time and say, I'd rather come here and learn. Yeah, that means a lot, man. That means a lot. And I love seeing that when young brothers and young sisters, man, when y'all come in here doing that, man. So yeah, so shout out to yourself, man. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 10. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's 10.
Keep going.
This is
Next verse.
verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
He hath said in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hidden his face. He
Now,
will.
what does that mean? You said it's hidden his heart. What does that mean when you see heart in the Bible? Does anybody know? Read from the top one more time. What was that? Verse 11?
Verse 11.
Yeah, read verse 11 again.
He hath said in his heart.
In his heart. Meaning what? What does that mean when you see heart in the Bible? Because when you see heart, what is the well, I almost gave it to you. Go ahead, keep reading.
Sorry.
Yeah, you start from 11. You start from the top. So anytime if you get lost or somewhere in the scripture, like just start from the top. Or just what I like to do is I like to keep my finger as I read, so I can keep where I'm at. And if you lose where you at, it's okay. Just start verse 11 or verse 10. Just start from the beginning. Ain't no sweat. Just take your time. That's all it is.
Verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
He hath said in his heart,
Mm-hmm.
God hath forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it.
Now, what does that mean when you read heart in the Bible? Because when you see heart in the Bible, the heart is what? An organ in your chest pumping blood throughout your body, right? But can you think with your heart?
Lie.
Nah, you can't think with your heart. Can your heart talk?
Lie.
No. But what do you think with?
Your brain.
There you go. So when you read heart in the Bible, that's what it's talking about. Now, of course, depending on the context, it might be talking about a literal heart, but I mean, that's kind of common sense. But we know just using common sense, you don't think with the organ in your chest pumping blood throughout your body. It's talking about your mind. So anytime you see that in the Bible, depending on the context, when you say heart, it's talking about the mind. That's all that it is, But this is something that you're not going to learn in the Christian church. You're never going to learn this. You ain't going to learn that in there. I can tell you that right now. Because the Christian church, you know what they're concerned about? They're concerned about you closing them doors so they can get that $40,000. That's what they're concerned about. They need that much. Close them doors. That's all they care about. So you ain't gonna get that in there. In there. Go ahead.
Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Arise, O Lord, O God. Lift up thine hand. Forget not the humble. 13.
Drop that. You good. So so just remember, so anytime you read heart in the Bible, that's what it's talking about. It's just talking about the mind. That's all that it is. But so I'm just bringing these scriptures out to just show you just the mindset and just of our oppressors and what we're having to deal with.
Okay.
Drop that. Give me what was the other precept I had? What was the other precept? Was you holding another precept, Nadia? Oh, that was the last one. Okay, drop that. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 54.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among us, among you, and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brothers.
Now, who is this talking about right here? Who is this talking about? His eyes shall be evil towards his own brother. Let me give you a few seconds to take a stab at it.
It's like I said, it's talking about us.
All right, it's talking about us. Read from the top one more time. So that man that's tender among you.
It's like, sir. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you,
Right.
and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brothers.
Right. So you might have that brother that's maybe that brother that's soft, not soft in like that type of way, but that brother that's trying to put in the right words without, but that brother that's I don't want to use that word because that's not going to be that brother that's tender. You know what the word tender means?
Lie.
Okay, we just look it up. But because I don't want to use the other word I was going to use. I don't think I can say that up here. But it's talking about, it's a prophecy, and it's talking about how our evil is going to be, how our eyes is going to be evil towards one another. Meaning how brothers look at one another in today's times, like in the streets, mean mugging one another. We, disgruntled with one another. It's talking about that brother that might, maybe that brother isn't built like that. He's not like a pushover, nothing like that. But it's just saying that brother's just not built like that, and his eyes going to be evil towards his own brother. This was going to be a curse. And when you look in today's time, what do you have going on? So-called black on black crime.
Black on black crime.
Having the evil eye towards one another. Brothers, and I hate that term black on black crime because you never hear white on white crime, Asian on Asian crime. Like people commit crime amongst the community that they're in. So if you have a white community or Asian neighborhood or whatever, well, the crimes they commit are going to be around the people that they're surrounded by. That's why I've always hated that term black on black crime. I can't stand that because it's only with black on black crime. Like people commit the crimes in the neighborhoods of where they're at.
So like, sir, if I could, sir, I believe they only pointed out because they want us to seem like the evildoers. They want us to be the terrible people. They want everybody to look at us as low as black, as disgusting people. Sir.
But it's like, but the things that we've learned, who do we learn that from?
From him, sir.
We learned it from them. Ain't nobody better killer than Esau, man. Ain't nobody better killer than them. Like we learned that from them. Like they the best drug dealers, man.
Right.
They the best drug dealers. Like who gonna sell more drugs than the CIA? Y'all saw Donald Trump. Now he just released those records.
Right.
What was the joint they just released? JFK. The JFK files.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the stuff they release, if you looked at it, it's like, well, we kind of already knew this already, so it's not really.
Right.
I mean, it's just confirmed what we already knew.
Right.
You know what I mean? Keep going.
All right. Salakia, sir. What are we on? 54.
54. But did you finish that, or you still was reading it, or?
I think 54. Yeah.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, somebody. Did y'all look it up?
Yeah, I had looked it up.
Well, we got Officer Rock in the building, man.
Most High in Christ.
Officer 5,000 of Rock. Go ahead. Yeah. Somebody got the definition of tender?
Yeah, so right here. The definition of tender, showing gentleness or concern or simple, showing gentleness.
Gentleness. That's what I want. Gentleness. So that's why, because I was gonna say soft, but I didn't want to. I know how that sounds. But the brother is gentle. That's the word I was looking for.
Right.
Gentle. That brother that's gentle. Even that brother that's gentle, his eyes gonna be evil. That's what we're talking about. And all these were prophecies that would have come forth. And when you look in today's time, but what do you see now? That same brother that that looks gentle or who was gentle, whatever. Now even his eyes are evil.
Right.
Even he's fighting one another. Like seems like black men and women can't get along with one another. Every time you turn on the TV, social media, reality. Well, I don't call it reality TV, but so-called reality TV. Everybody fighting everybody, baddies, and all the other stupid shows.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
You should see at my high school down in Virginia. I live in Virginia right now.
Yeah.
Most of everybody in there wearing ski masks, playing with the guns, and fighting everybody left and right.
Shiesty mask.
Exactly.
Like, my God, man. Yeah. That's why I say, man, I'm glad to see a young man like yourself, man, that's in here, because it's rough out there. It's only going to get worse, man.
All right.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54. Just gonna start over. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant,
It says what towards the what? The wife?
his wife
Mm-hmm. Like I
of
said
his
earlier,
bosom.
it's like I said. It's like seems like black men and women can't get along. Every time you turn around, seems like, oh man, do black? I keep seeing this post. Do black men really love black women, or vice versa? You see the same thing every time I go on YouTube. I see all these damn relationship podcasts.
Yeah.
Same old, man. It's just like, damn, like we can't catch a break, right?
Right.
Right, man. All these are prophecies, and it's a reason for all this stuff. But you know what? It's a solution for it as well.
Right.
Keep going. You can start from the top
All
if you
right.
need to.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54.
Mm-hmm.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Verse 55.
Say that one more time. That last part. What was that last part?
And towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Damn. And what you have going on right now in the household? What's the number one thing that's missing in the black household?
Fathers.
Fathers. Everybody knows that. I don't care if you're black, white, red, yellow, purple. Everybody know that's one of the biggest things that's missing right now in our household. Is fathers.
Right.
Because when you have a father in the household, you have order that's in there. When you have that father that's in the household, you now have that masculine, if he is masculine, that man that's in there, that father in that household will bring discipline and order in that household. He brings structure into that household. What's that precept? Oh shoot. I slipped my mind at the moment. I get it in a second. We'll read that precept in a second while I'm on this topic. But that's what you have going on right now. Like that's one of the biggest things that's like plaguing the black community is we don't even have father figures, period. Not only in the household, but we damn near don't even have any uncles anymore, man.
Right.
Like, damn. And the ones we do have aren't really worth much, you know? And it's sad because now when you look at it, you wonder why these young men are going to the gangs. You wonder why they're going to the streets. And you wonder why. Well, because what these young men are looking for is they're looking for that father figure. They're looking for that structure. They're looking for the brotherhood. But the problem is they don't know how to go about it. They don't have the teachings. They lack the teachings, and they lack the teachings and the understanding.
Right.
You know, nobody's teaching them. They don't have that right now. That's why they're going to the gangs. They're going to those gangs. That's why you see these young girls dating these type of dudes. They dating these thug type of dudes because in their minds they don't see any other type of men. Because if they grow up in a neighborhood that's surrounded by the thug dudes or drug dealers, they're like, well, okay, that's the norm. That is a man.
Right.
They don't know any better, so you can't get mad at them. Why she always dating these type of dudes? That's what she grew up around. That's who raised her. What the hell she else going to date? So when she sees the quote unquote the tender man or whatever, she's gonna look at him like he's soft and a punk and a pushover. She doesn't know any better. Keep going.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. This is verse 55. So that he will not give to any of them, or the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left.
It's like drop that. Give me Matthew the 13th chapter. It's like 12. It's 12. Yeah, Matthew 12. Give me Matthew the 12th chapter. That's what I need. Because 13 is about something different. Give me Matthew the 12th chapter, 12 and 29.
12 and 29.
Should be 20. Yeah, Matthew 12 and 29. Should be the 29th verse.
All right. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 29. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and low.
Wait, what verse you at?
29.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, sir.
Hold on, let me see. No, what is it? That's the same.
Salaki, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Let me see the, because I was looking at the print in the Bible. That might be the issue. Let me see if this works better. I can't see. Is this print any better? No, you good. Not else. Because I think that might be part of the problem. Is that print any bigger? Is that print any better? You said it's smaller. And the only reason I said that is because I know, like, sometimes when those words are bunched up together, it'll be like I don't know if I have my Bible written in my bag, but the way it's like, okay, you see like with here, it has like the chapter, but with certain, depending on what Bible you have or what edition you have, it'll be like in like bold print, so you can really see it. But some Bibles, it's crunched up together, so when it switches, unless you really know that Bible itself, it'll confuse you. That's why brothers probably have issues. But since they're the same size, it ain't gonna make a difference.
All right, Salaki, sir.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 29. Or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house?
What?
How can one enter into a strong man's house?
Into a strong man's house. I like that the Bible said that. Into a strong man's house. Go ahead. Because the black man, go ahead. Keep going.
And spoil his goods, except he first
Keep going.
bind the strong man.
Now, what does it mean to bind something? It says to bind the strong man. What does it mean to bind something? Like when somebody say, damn, bro, I can't do it right now, man. I'm caught in the bind. What does that mean? You know, people want to know, like, damn, I can remember you had the black man in the household at one point in time, though, right? Yeah. But the black man ain't in the household no more, is he?
Yeah.
What happened? Did he just get up and leave? What's that word mean? That bind.
Salaki, sir. Bind, a cover or holding loose sheets. What's like it? That's not it.
No, that ain't
That's
it.
binder. Salaki.
Is there a second definition? Because you know some words have like multiple meanings.
Salaki, sir. To fasten or fasten by tying, to hold or restrict by force.
What was that? The last part?
To hold or restrict by force.
Restrict by force. I love that one. Restrict by force. Something's tied up. Something's tied up. I'm bound. I can't. I'm in a bind right now. I'm in a tight squeeze. I can't do it right now, bro. Like y'all know that terminology. That's what's happened. That black man was caught up in the bond. That's what the government what the government did by getting the black man out of the household. And that's a whole that's a whole class topic by itself. So when we look and you go back to Deuteronomy, I think it was like 53 or 54. When you go back and you read Deuteronomy and it talks about that, about the man leaving the household, well, that's what it's talking about. All these are prophecies, man. All these scriptures, man, are tying in with one another. And I'm bringing out all these precepts to show you understand, like, of what's going on in today's time with the black household. So when you want to understand, like, what happens or where in the black community in today's time, why is it our young men seem to be so emotional, you know? And when I say the word emotional, I don't mean that as an insult, because emotional isn't a bad thing. Because I hear a lot of people say emotional, and they throw that word around like it's an insult. There's nothing wrong with being emotional. The problem is when you start making irrational decisions based off your emotions. That's when when emotional is a negative. Because if you're, God forbid, if your loved one die, you're gonna be emotional.
Right.
But what you don't want to do is now start making irrational decisions because you're emotional. So go ahead, though. Yo, you want to say something?
Last, I was just gonna say effeminate. Like like with women, when they get emotional, they're being effeminate. That's what they do because they're a woman. But the point is when a man becomes effeminate, he makes irrational decisions. He makes the choice to go out there and make irrational decisions just like a woman. Because a woman, even on her menstrual cycle, she may say something that she don't mean, but when they get there, that's just what it is. Salakia. That's just what it is with a woman. And also with an effeminate man, Salakia.
Yes. And let me tell you something. And it's very dangerous too. And this is what a lot of our young black men don't understand. It is very dangerous when it comes to us, when we get emotional, because of the power that we have. So that's why when we get pulled over by police, yes, sir, officer, you know, we got to be on our P's and Q's, because that what they say, our passion gets mistaken for aggression. You know what I mean? And not that having a passion or aggression is a bad thing, because neither one of it is bad. But the problem is when we do it, we see what happens. When we have like how I'm talking right now, I'm talking with my hands. Well, so when I'm talking to a police officer, I can't do that. I got yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. No. I was, you know, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But I got to be careful, because especially if I'm in a car, I get pulled over. It's nighttime. He can't see in the car, and I'm talking with my hands.
Salaki, he gonna get real scared. Start doing stuff.
He gonna be real scared. He gonna be real tense. And a lot of times, if you ever get pulled over by the police, watch them, because a lot of times when they come at you, this is what they do. And this what I forget,
put their hand on their waist.
It's non-verbals. They'll come to the car like this.
Yep.
It ain't aggressive. It ain't aggressive. It's well, no, it's passive aggressive, because it's not. It's very subtle. It ain't. It's more like, you know.
Salakia.
You know, they just got the hand on the hip and they just. Yeah, license registration, and you start doing all of that.
Exactly. Salakia, sir. Me personally, when they start putting their hand on their hip, it makes me feel like they're getting ready just in case, like a just in case.
Yeah, but see, it's also it's non-verbal, because I don't have to draw my gun on you, but it's the fact that I do this. I'm letting you know. So now that we having a conversation, you get loud, and I start doing this.
Let him know that I could possibly do it.
Like, okay, it's a non-verbal,
right?
So that's why I say it's very dangerous. So when it comes to us as black men, that's why it's very, very important, and it's imperative that you have that man in the household, because what I just told y'all, your woman wouldn't even think that, because she's not typically, the woman's not going to be in that type of environment for the most part. They're not. But as a man, we deal with men, we deal with each other, so we know how we talk, we know how we are. So I know if I talk to Nadia a certain type of way, I know he might be like, you know, and I know the aggression, but a woman might not see all of that. So if I'm a father, I gotta teach my son, hey, yo, I need you to check that. I'm your father, you upset, I get you upset, but I don't need you losing control because you upset. And then my son he might not understand it. He might, man, dad just been an a-hole. He just rah. He don't understand what I'm teaching him, because at a young age, 7, 8, he don't know. But he don't know when he's turning 15 like your age. When he got to deal with police officers, that same aggression, that police officer ain't gonna be like, hey, calm that down. His calm that down is gonna be this.
It's Salakia, sir.
He don't know that. But I know that, and I see that. So I gotta teach him that at a young age. Go ahead.
Salakia, sir, especially these 15-year-olds that look like grown men.
Yes. Because let me tell you something. Y'all 15-year-olds today, what the hell, man? I don't know what they got in the food, man. Y'all 15-year-olds walking around here 6'2". I'm like, hey, look, bro. I need you to put that, like Cedric Entertainer said, when you come in the house, I need you to put that chest up, bro. Put that chest in my arms up, man. I seen Officer on Roxanne the other day. Bro was like repping like 300 pounds. I'm like, bro, what the, like, what are you doing? I mean, I might be exaggerating with the weight, but bro, like, what do you, what the hell? Like, and so imagine like the police, and I'm not, you know, wishing this on him, but imagine if he gets pulled over by the police officer. They seeing this young buck. Oh shoot! The moment his voice raises, and you know he start talking with his hands and body, man. Come on, man. Like, y'all already know, dog. Like, Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 29. I'm gonna start back at 29. Or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man?
Now let me show you that. This scripture right here shows you how powerful, how imperative, how much of a nucleus that black man is in the household. And I'm not trying to like downgrade and downplay the sisters, nothing like that. But the reason why I'm saying that is because the scripture, it didn't say woman. It didn't say that. It said men. Because when you have a man in there, you also have protection that's in there.
Come.
And the problem with us, man, like in Jeremiah 14, I think it's 14:2, I believe, when it says that our gates have languished, like we don't, might as well go and pull it. I'm already quoting it. So yeah, so go and put your thumb on that one. Jeremiah 14:2. But the reason why it's saying that, in you good, bro? You good? Okay. All right. You just down to the side. You just sit right there on the on the folder right there next to my book. Yeah, I'll get to it in a second. But man, I lost track of thought. Read that one more time. Matthew, what was it? Matthew 19?
Matthew 12 and 29.
12 and 29. Okay.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and 29. Or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods?
Spoil his goods, spoil his family, man.
Except he first binds the strong man.
Do you know how powerful the black family was? I think it was like 2 decades right after slavery, how strong, like how much we have built up as the black community. Just 2 decades outside of slavery, how strong we were as a household. The nucleus was there, man. If I can go get that stat report, man, it was, I think I'm not exaggerating on the numbers, but I believe for like our marital rate was like 90-something%. It was very high. It was higher than like the white household. Again, this is 2 decades out of slavery. Just 2 decades. It didn't matter. Like, look at so much of what the black community has been through. That didn't even break us. We were still getting married, still having children, even during slavery. But it wasn't until the 60s or early 70s with Lyndon Baines Johnson. I want to say when the government started implementing all these new policies and trying to get the black man out of household. That's when everything went haywire. Like, we don't even understand how strong and how valuable we are as black men. We don't look at ourselves like that because we've been beat down so much. We don't even realize how strong like we really are. Not even physically, but spiritually. We were that strong, man. Go ahead.
And then he will spoil his house.
Man, that's what you have now. That's what you have now. You see these young kids today, man. They come from this household, nothing but women. Full of estrogen, full of emotion. And them same young boys grow up, come out of the household, got all that, they're eager, they got all that aggression, all that strength, but they don't know what to do with it. And they're so emotional that they respond like their mama would respond. But the problem is you can't get away with the stuff that your mama did. So your mama can mouth off at the police and all this stuff. They get away with it. They get a slap on the wrist. Let your behind do that and see what happens. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you see our sisters out here, acting all crazy and stuff, and they need to be dealt with too, by us, of course, because we ain't gonna kill them. But these same women end up raising these young boys, and these young boys, they're gonna repeat what mommy do.
Come.
And what their father say, hey, stop doing that. Hey, stop doing that. You see our rock do all the time. Hey, stop doing that.
Come.
What their father figure that, man, they're gonna follow what their mother did.
So like I said, if I could, I seen a video recently where the cop, he basically tried to arrest the sister, but she was walking away, yelling and screaming. But the brother had basically removed the sister from the situation. And the officer, and mind you, he did have a dog with him. The police are a canine dog.
I think I know what video you're talking about.
And the police officer grabbed the brother by the back of the neck and tackled him to the ground.
I think I know what video you're talking about.
And the dog bit him. The dog bit the old brother, the police officer.
Yeah, I think I know what video you're talking about, bro.
Come on, concert.
And it was like because if we talk about the same video, that cop was going back and forth with that
Right,
sister.
come on, concert.
And like you said, he kept trying to arrest her. She like,
Right.
no, I'm not gonna do this, and walked away. The brother came in, like 2 seconds, he just took him down.
Come
And I
on,
was like, what? But the sister was able to do so much.
Come on, concert.
And see, with examples like that, imagine if that young, and I don't know, imagine if that young woman had a son. Imagine what he sees at the house. And he grows up imitating what mommy do. But see, the sad part is mommy ain't telling him, hey, look, I can get away with it. You can't. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. Majority of the times of what I see, I'll see that same woman come out and try to defend her son. Son be a stone cold killer and come out here. He didn't do it.
Right.
Nah, man. Drop that. Give me yeah, might as well. It was another precept I was gonna get, but we'll get it out there. Jeremiah 14:2. Hey, it's like somebody borrow. You got a Bible? You can use this one. Yeah. Hey, man, hey, yeah, and give it up for Shamad Bar, man. You know, he took his officer's test, man. Where to see that, brother, man? Been working hard, man. Hebrew Academy. You ready, man? Hebrew Academy? Come on, man. You been in for a whole year, dog. Yeah, man. Going on past that. I want to see you up there. I want to see you go through, man. Go through the trials, get that cover, man. Hell yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna be in next year's class. Nah. What did it say? Jeremiah 14:2.
10:2.
Hey, Nadia, if you could, Bubba, just grab me another thing of water. Preferably room temperature. Bubba, the water. Appreciate that.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14:2.
Mm-hmm.
Judah
Mourneth.
mourneth,
Oh,
and the
Judah
gates.
mourneth. It's talking about us. Judah mourneth. It's talking about Israelites, man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Judah mourneth. Now, what does that mean to mourn? How do you mourn? Does anybody know what that word means? How you mourn for something? You know, again, you look it up too if you need to, but you know, mourn, sadness. I'll just give it to you. Sadness. Somebody dies, you know, sadness. That's what mourning is. So, like we've been talking about before, when you see our young brothers and sisters that's been murdered out here in the streets, or excuse me, unalived, you know, those families are mourning. They're sad. You know, they're in a state of sadness. Go ahead.
And the gates thereof languish.
Mm-hmm. Read from top.
Judah mourneth.
Always tell them where you at.
Oh.
Yeah, so just read from the top.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Judah mourneth.
Judah mourneth. So meaning what? So Judah mourneth. Judah mourneth. Judah is sad right now. Judah is sad. Now, why are they sad? Why is Judah sad? Why is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Why are we sad? Keep going.
And the gates thereof languish.
Languish. Okay. It says the gates thereof languish. But what does the word languish mean? Do you know what the word languish means?
So like I said, like torn down or beaten.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Weakened. Yeah, weakened to a weakened state. It says the gates thereof languish. Now, what is a gate? Anybody tell me what a gate is? I'm gonna give it you a shot. What is a gate? Or well, better yet, what is the purpose of a gate? Let me do it that way. I know y'all know what a gate is, but what's the purpose of a gate? Or
say
fence?
like I could say like locking something in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely right. Give him a hand. That's the purpose of a gate. The purpose of a gate or fence, I'll say gate because the Bible says gate, so I'll use gate.
Okay.
Is to keep what's in and what's out. It's for protection or barrier.
Okay.
You know, that's what a gate is for. So now that we know what that is, now read it from the top.
Says the book of Jeremiah,
Mhm.
chapter 14, verse 2.
Mhm.
Judah mourneth,
Right. Judah is sad. Judah is sad. Go ahead.
and the gates thereof languish.
So now Judah is sad. And it's saying what? And their gates have language, meaning what? As we said before, what a gate is, you know, keep what's in and what's out. Or, you know, or for a barrier or protection. And that barrier or protection has what? Languish, meaning what? What did you say language means?
Weakened.
Weakened, right. Language. So in other words, what? Our barrier has weakened. Our protection has weakened. Keep going.
They are black.
They are what?
Black.
They are what?
Black.
Black. Our protection has weakened. Like we said earlier, man. The black man in the household serves as what? We said it earlier. That having a black man in the household is to have what in the household? But what are we talking about now in this verse? We're talking about what? What was the gate?
Something to keep stuff in and without out.
Right. And it serves as a what?
Barrier.
As a barrier or protection.
Protection.
So having that black man in the household
It's for protection.
thank you. It's protection. Give him a hand. That's what that black man in the household represents. The black man in the household is your first line of defense. So imagine if you don't have that in the household. Imagine if you don't have that black man in the household. Now what? That means like you're what is it, 45? Yeah. That means your fortress or your fort. I hope I'm using that word correctly, but whatever. Again, English ain't my strong point, so y'all get what I'm saying. It's gonna be one today.
Yeah.
But so now you no longer have that black man in the household. Well, your first line of defense is gone.
Yeah, Salagi, sir.
So now all you have is the woman, which is, I mean, it's a defense, but it's not as strong as that male, if I may.
Yeah, Salagi,
you know what I'm saying? She's the weaker vessel. No disrespect, but she's the weaker vessel. She's not she shouldn't be the first line of defense. Let me put it that way.
Right.
But in today's time, a lot of times that black woman is the first line of defense because we don't have that black man in the household. So because she got to be the first line of defense, which is the male's role and male's responsibility, now she's stepping in the male's role. But what happens now when she steps in the male's role? Now she becomes masculine.
Mm-hmm.
Then you want, damn, all these black women masculine, but then you ain't got black men in the household. What the hell you wanted to do? I'm just saying. Keep going. What are you about to say something?
No, you already said important thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Mm-hmm. Judah mourneth.
Oh, damn, I didn't know we went over time. Shit, damn. All right, well, I'll finish this last precept.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languished. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Man, because that's who's crying. That's us. We're the ones out there crying. Like this scripture is talking about us. So, and this scripture can only be talking about us. Now, I've heard, devils. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna say the other words because I don't, But I've heard devils and I've heard other people that try to say, oh, it's talking about somebody else. It's talking about these group of people. Well, it can't be because who else is out here mourning? I don't see the so-called Jewish man out here mourning.
Yeah.
Please tell me the last story. Please tell me of a time a so-called Jewish man was gunned down by a police officer. And ain't
heard one.
Justice for it. Please.
Haven't heard one.
I'm gonna have to Google this. I want to see what comes up. Go ahead.
Add on to it.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 11. We roar all like bears and mourn sore like doves.
Damn.
We look for judgment, but there is none.
Damn.
For salvation, but it is far off from us.
Damn, read that again from the top, man.
Come on. This is the book of
That's a
Isaiah,
heavy
chapter
precept.
59, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
We roar like bears and mourn sore like doves. We look for judgment, but there is none. For salvation, but it is far from us.
Damn.
Far off from us. So like,
Damn, man, that's a heavy scripture, bro. And it's like, and the reason why it's far from us, man, because like I said, because we don't even have that protection anymore. We've left our house. Not only did we leave our physical house, our homes, we also, well, I don't have my Bible on me no more. We also left our physical house as well. This one, we left this. This is why our salvation is at right here, man. Well, what's in this book? We've also have left this. This is this right here, our first line of defense, but we've left this. All this in here. You want to know the cure to all these diseases, high blood pressure, diabetes, and all this stuff, cancer, all these stuff. All that's in here, man.
Right.
You ain't got to keep going to the doctor, do all this research. Nothing's wrong with it, but all that could be avoided. You got to take all these damn medicines and stuff.
come on.
You change up your damn diet. And you don't need to understand how much we could change, man, by our diet alone.
So like, so if I could, that book that you're holding up is the Apocrypha, right? It means hidden, if I'm not mistaken, sir.
Yeah.
It means hidden, but like there's a story and with the sister and her 7 sons, which is so like, it's very like historical and for us anyway, because the Bible says not to eat pork. But the main point is the sister and her 7 sons were unalive because they didn't eat the king's meat, which is pork. They didn't eat pork, so they were unalive for it.
Yeah.
Which is what the Bible says. Slack, sir.
Now think about that. Even with that same story. Now imagine, how much courage it takes
Come
to say,
on.
I'm gonna die behind not eating that.
Right.
Like I know if I don't eat this is what could happen.
Come on.
Imagine if we had that same concept about, if we took that same concept and that mentality with our everyday lives, how much better off we be.
Right.
If I'm willing to die to not eat pork, well, sure enough, I can stop smoking cigarettes.
Right.
Like sure enough, I cannot go to the strip club.
Right.
Sure enough, I cannot smoke weed and do drugs to my brother.
That's right.
If I'm willing to die behind not eating something, by not putting something in my body,
right.
Well, my God, sure I could pass a freaking officer test, man.
That's right.
Come on, man. Come on, bro.
That's right.
You can read scriptures like this all day, and you realize, man, the strength you can get from reading something like that. Because reading a story like that, if you was feeling a bit down, you say you might feel a bit depressed about something that you're going through on a job. You read a story like that, you complain about something on your job when they die behind they eating pork. What you fuck you complaining about, man? What? Because your girl broke up with you? They died behind they eating pork, bro. What you
get 7 more?
I see where you at. All right. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more, man, and I'm gonna but I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I had one more. Did we finish that? Matthew?
Yeah, we finished 2.
Okay. It was another one more I wanted to get. Give me Proverbs 7 and 12. That'll be it right there. Proverbs 7 and 12. 7 and 12. Because that Proverbs 7 and 12 goes hand in hand with I think you pulled it earlier, Nadia. It was Deuteronomy 28. It was I forget what verse. It was about the evil eye. I think I might have pulled it earlier. It might have been 54 or something. This one goes hand in hand with this one. I'll explain to you and I'll show you how.
Which one? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 7, verse 12. Now it's she without, now in the sheets or streets. I don't know what
I'm sorry, where you at? What is it? I think it's at 12. Okay. It's Proverbs. It should say man, hold on. What the hell did I say? No. I thought it was Proverbs. I thought it said Proverbs. Oh yeah. Proverbs. Start at Proverbs. I think it was what did I say? Proverbs 7. Yeah, Proverbs 7. Start at 10 because I don't remember the verse right now. So
10,
Proverbs 7 and 10. Just start at 10.
Alright.
I can't remember the verse right now that I need, but I know it when I hear it.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 7, verse 10. And behold, there met him a woman with the 11. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 7, verse 11. She is loud and stubborn, her feet a bride not in her house. 12. Now it's she without, not in the streets.
Say it again. Read it from the top. 12.
Now it's she without, now.
Hold on. Let me read with you. Hold on. Let me say. I need to see it. Hell's the damn. Oh, Slakia. Isaiah 51 and 20. I was like, what the hell? I knew someone sounded right. Isaiah 51 and 20. Yeah, Isaiah 51 and 20, and then that'll be it. I'm gonna get out of here, man. Slakia, I ain't mean to hold it. I lost track of time, man.
This is a book of Isaiah, chapter
51?
Okay.
Yeah.
I would talk with.
Sorry. 51 and 20. And then that'll be it.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 51 and 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head.
Say what? Thy sons have what?
Have fainted.
What does that mean? Fainted. What does that mean?
Fell, pass out.
Say what? Okay. All right. But okay, when somebody faints.
Faints as in pass out?
Yeah. But okay, so when somebody faints, they become
Slugger, sir. Unconscious.
Yeah, but it's a word I'm looking for. Like somebody, because I'm gonna give it to you. But when somebody faints, somebody might have to look it up because I don't want to give. But for time's sake, weak. Somebody fell weak, so I'm faint. That's what it means. So that's what it means when somebody faints. But I mean, but you're right. Yeah, they pass out. They're unconscious, but they become weak. So go ahead, read from the top.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 51 and 20. Thy sons have fainted.
Thy sons fainted, meaning what? Thy sons have have become weak. Thy sons have weakened. Thy sons are weak. Just like we read in what? In Jeremiah 14 and 2.
Right.
Same thing about them gates. Them gates that languish have become weak. Well, much like them gates that become weak, them so-called Christian pastors, these fake leaders and everything that's weak. Well, our sons have now become weak and have become weakened as well. Right. Keep going.
They lie at the head of all the streets.
Say what?
They lie at the head of all the streets.
What is it? Damn, hold on. Read that one more time, that last part.
They lie at the head of all the streets.
What does that mean? What does that sound like to you, young man? They lie at the heads of the streets. What does that mean? What does that sound like? But think about what we've been talking about. Black man, not in that, it was in the household, not in the household now. These women raising these young boys
outside on the streets.
Outside, give him a hand.
On the streets.
Give him a hand. Because that's all you see. You look outside, on the corner store, corner stores hanging on the streets.
Right.
Hell, even Rick James had a song back in the day, when I was a young boy growing up in the ghetto. That's what he said. That's what's going on with our young men now. And you look up in today's time, you open the door, go outside, you see our young men out here, they're weak, man. Why? Because they don't have the father figures in the household, or whatever father figure they have in the household. He's not a strong father figure. So they go out here in the streets. They looking for what? They looking for that masculinity. They looking for that strong code. That's what they looking for. Not strong code, but they're looking for that strong brother. But they don't know. But their spirit is looking for it. But they don't know that. They don't know that's what they're looking for in their mind. I'm trying to be around some real niggas. That's what they come out their mouth, but they don't know their spirit is looking for that. Naturally, we gravitate towards that. Naturally, men and women, we both gravitate towards that masculinity. We want to be around that. Don't no straight man. What no man want to be around no soft, weak, feminine man? And don't no woman want that. A woman wants to be dominated. I'm gonna leave that alone. Anyways.
Right.
Go ahead. I'll be here all 30 minutes. Go ahead.
As a wild bull in
as a what?
net. As a wild bull in a net.
Oh, here we go again with that word net. What did we say earlier about the word net? What is that? What is a net?
A trap.
A trap. So it's like a wild bull, like strong. That young bull, strong. Right. What happens when you see that? We all see Discovery Channel. Like I watch it every now and again, and you see like hunters come out there trying to catch some animals, whether it be an elephant or a tiger or a lion. Right. They throw them nets out there.
They run. They try to fight back,
and they be doing all of that.
Right.
Damn. But it just can't break free, and it's strong. You're like, ox, bison, all them strong animals, but they throw the net. Just like that's how them young boys are. They strong, man. They strong, but they don't know how to go about it. They don't know what to do with them strength, man. It's like a baby rattlesnake, got all that venom, but they don't know how to use it. And it's like they could kill somebody, but it's like unalive. But they don't know how much power that they hold and possess. It's the same thing with our young black brothers. They got all that strength, but they don't know how to go about it. They got all that aggression, but they don't know what to do with it. They don't have that father or father figure that show them how to channel that energy and where to put it towards. But put it in the weight room, put it in the football field, basketball court. But in the household with all that estrogen, they don't know, they don't know what to do. And then you're under the depression and stuff. You upset, emotional. So they're gonna just that's what happens, man. Read that last verse one more time, and we're gonna get up out of here.
As a wild bull in a net.
And what did we say that net was?
A trap.
A trap. And where are our young men's at today? Oh man, got the trap house. That's what I'm at right now. They out here on the corners, on the streets, on the corner, man, in the trap house. I trapping, man. I gotta get this bread up, bro.
Right.
Like, I gotta go back to the trap. I gotta re-up. Like, damn, that's why our young men is at. That's why they call it a trap house, because it's like a trap. It literally because it's like you go in one way, come out the other way. And some of them trap houses, anyways. And with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest and also now to y'all.
Security announcements. We're the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew, which is pronounced Ma'ashera. 10% of every penny, or Salakia, every penny of any increase the Lord gives you to the give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund will be free will offering for priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, which is the Lord's 56th annual Passover, which will be held on April 12th in Atlanta, right? And you're not there, you're not in the truth. Salakia. Upcoming Holy Convocation, which is the Lord's 56th annual Passover. Remind Achium and Akwathium to check in, Salakia, to check on social media for isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If your brother or sister, Salakia, if your brother wants to become a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we're going to, Ahmadium, want to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, Men of Israel, Ahmadium Shabbat, Barak, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shabrak. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters, Men of Ahmadium Shabbat, Barak, Yahweh Shemal Atha Bashim Yahweh Shai. And with that, class dismissed.
Welcome to Atlanta. Price is Officer 5000, Jeremiah, the camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's class. April the 11th, we got the black party that's gonna have the Hebrew graduation. April the 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under Commander Junior Hunter.
Our great and holy King has honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. There's no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man. It is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King Yahushua, we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved.
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Shalom.